I had to go all the way back to the beginning, here's why I probably wouldn't do internal medicine. Hey my people, welcome back guys. I hope you're doing great. If you're seeing my face for the first time, hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Lucinda. I am a medical doctor in internal medicine practicing in Germany. So in the previous video, I talked about why I like internal medicine, why I chose internal medicine. And today we'll be doing the opposite. These are the things I totally do not like about internal medicine. And if I had to go back all the way to the beginning, I don't know if I would still pick internal medicine just due to this fact. Of course, every specialty has its ups and its downs. So these are some of the cons I personally find in internal medicine. The first one would be the fact that internal medicine is really broad. So the very reason I like internal medicine is also the same reason sometimes I do not like it. It's the fact that you're doing almost everything: nephrology, cardiology, gastroenterology, rheumatology, diabetology. So you're doing all these things and sometimes it gets really overwhelming. I know in the previous video I talked about how I like how it has different sides to it, but it also has its cons when you have to deal with so much at once. On the bright side, it's good, you learn a lot, but on the downside, it's just sometimes too much happening at once and you feel like you're always trying to catch up. The next one would be the gruesome shifts, especially if you do 24-hour shifts. Oh my goodness, those 24-hour shifts can be really gruesome, I'm telling you. The fact that it's so broad, so there's always someone with an abdominal pain, there's always someone who is having cough, who is having breathlessness. So another thing I hate about the shifts is how you feel like a dump house. For those doing internal medicine, please, am I hallucinating or it's a common thing? So you feel like a dump house. The neurologist will call you, oh, this patient was brought in as a stroke patient, but he's probably just dehydrated because the CTs are okay, so it's yours. And I'm just like, can't you give them some fluids and please leave me alone? Or every ailment where it's unclear what specialty this belongs to, it's internal medicine. Or every abdominal pain, internal medicine first. It's endless. So during the shifts, you just feel constantly drained because you're being pulled from different angles. This I do not like about internal medicine. How about the administrative work going on? My goodness, I have said over and over again, there is so much paperwork going on. So it's not just the fact that you have to do the discharge letters. When you do the discharge letters, you're not done. Those letters come back to you. And then you have to fill in maybe the missing results or if there were pending results when you discharged the patients. You have to do all of that again. And then filling forms, you have lots of forms to fill. If you have patients who have to go to a care home, you have to fill those forms. If you have patients who have to go to rehabilitation, you have to fill those forms. It's your work as a doctor to fill those forms here in Germany. So you have to put in every detail. I know certain people say, oh, it's just 10 minutes. But by the time you put 10 minutes of different patients or however time it takes for multiple patients, you see that those minute minutes add up to a sum. It's just so much paperwork going on. Can we talk about how in internal medicine, you just feel like you're always talking? So from patients to the patient's family, there are certain patients who would come and they're like, oh, I want to speak to you. Like I just spoke to you 2 hours ago at the morning meeting, but they still want to speak to you and you can't ignore them. So you have to go to them. And then you have those family members who would come with a long list of questions and you have to explain those things. You are just constantly talking. All these are normal, but sometimes it can become overwhelming, mostly when you have to do that on a daily basis for multiple patients. So internal medicine is one of those specialties where I think you require patience. You don't know how many times I do this. My colleagues used to make fun and say, oh, Lucy, how do you manage to stay so calm? I mean, can be very annoying, but at the end of the day, I always see it from the angle of, okay, this person needs help, or they are just trying to understand what's wrong. And sometimes you have to remind them that you are not my only patient, or you have to remind the family members that this person is not the only patient I have on my hands, because there are times when they feel you should spend morning, day and night just by the bedside of this patient, which is not realistic. So internal medicine, you need a lot of patience. Breathe in and out. There is a high rate of burnout in internal medicine. Yes, because the constant emotional toll from taking care of chronically ill patients, from the long shifts, from all this administrative work. You leave work, but you never really leave work because somehow your mind doesn't completely shut down. You just have these constant residual things of, oh, this I have to do tomorrow. Oh, I forgot to do that today. When you leave the hospital, you have to force yourself to shut down, because if you leave your brain open, you keep thinking of things that are in the hospital. So if you're in internal medicine, please make sure you take your breaks, because you could start work and then get to the end of the day and you haven't taken a break just because you're trying to meet up and to finish on time. Let your break time be non-negotiable if you're in internal medicine. Every specialty, I think, but if you're in internal medicine, from my own point of view, just make sure you put in the extra effort, and also put in the extra effort to care for yourself. Like I said, the exhaustion and the burnout, sometimes you can't even put a name to the emotion or to the feeling, because you're constantly feeling tired, you're constantly feeling like you have no interest in anything, you feel demotivated. Bro, sis, that could be just burnout coming up gradually on you. That was one of the main reasons I started Dearly Doctor. Dearly Doctor is a platform dedicated to the wellness and well-being of medical doctors. So if you're yet to check that out, please check it out. I'll put the link in the description. These are some of the things I totally hate about internal medicine and I do not enjoy about internal medicine, but do I regret choosing internal medicine? Absolutely not. I still feel internal medicine is where I belong, and if I had to go back again, I probably would still do internal medicine. Just I would wish I had a magic wand to take this part off, but unfortunately that's not possible. So we have to find ways to live with it and just keep ourselves sane during the process of going through residency. Before we move into our question of the day, if you haven't subscribed, as usual, I am looking right at you. Please do well to subscribe. Today's question is from the comment section and it's from someone called Guielanes. He says, hi doc, great video. Could you make a video about what goes on Morgenbesprechung? There is few information on that topic. So just in case you're wondering what Morgenbesprechung is the morning meetings where the chef arts, doctors, everyone from the department is sitting in a room, and all those who were on call have to report the patients they saw. So all the new patients will be discussed, why they came into the hospital, what their diagnosis is, and what treatment plans have been initiated or what needs to be done on that day. And if there were incidents or things that occurred with patients who have already been admitted, you also have to talk about them. Or if you saw consults that are extremely important, you have to also say, oh, I saw this patient from this department, this was what I did, and the patient still needs to be checked today. So such things, you're basically just discussing the new patients and what went on while every other doctor was at home. So that's the major thing that goes on during the morning meetings. If you have questions on residency or working in Germany, please let me know in the comment section. And the question from me to you is, what is a specialty you wouldn't do and why? I would be reading your comments, and as usual, please take good care of yourselves and I will see you in the next one.